years after being suspended twice from school. Unsurprisingly, she says her mum was less than pleased and effectively suspended her from the family home too, kicking her out at the age of 17. Vogue now says it was well-deserved. I would have kicked me out too. So, Nadia, I mean, to be fair, she went to her dad's because her mum and dad weren't living together. So she went to her dad's, which is not quite the same as being kicked out. But would you?
Never.
Never?
No way. I wouldn't threaten it. I wouldn't do it. Oh, my God, no. No, no. And I would find it really odd if a friend of mine said that they'd done that with their child. I would judge them.
but Vogue says it was a kick up the bum that she needed.
No, but not to throw you out, because I think you've got to remember, at that age, everything is so confusing. You've got so many insecurities and things going on in your head. And then if your own mum says to you, no, I can't deal with you, I think you could be really firm and you could say, listen, you know, I would have no problem being really firm and maybe really upsetting them with what I say. But to throw them out is like, for me, it's not unconditional love. It's conditional love. You can only live here and be with me if you're a certain way.
But I think you made a very good point. She was kicked out to go and live with her dad because her mum and dad were... So it isn't the same thing. Yeah. It's not like her mum put her
I still
out.
wouldn't do that.
Her mum put... I mean, I probably in that situation, if she was a complete nightmare and I'd said to her multiple times, you know, and she wasn't listening to me, then I probably would. And actually, Vogue said it worked for her, and she realised that actually her mum was in the right. So maybe then, but in terms of kicking out onto the street, no, for the simple reason that I think all of us as parents, in our head, you'd have that what if.
Yeah.
What if they had nowhere to go and they got hit by a bus or they got stabbed or they got...
No.
And then you would just forever blame yourself. So.
No, I mean, I could never do that. But I suppose it's just that threatening thing that as parents we can kind of... If you don't do this, this will happen. If you don't do this, this will happen.
Threat upbringing.
Yeah, that's right. Life by threat.
You have to, though, sometimes, don't you? Otherwise, they just don't do what they're told.
Yeah, but they're still little.
I know, yeah, mine are small. So, I don't know, like, I find with my two, I am really soft. So, I generally probably wouldn't follow through with my threats, but I have to make them realistic, things that they really think I will do. Whereas Wayne will say something like, oh, if you don't do that, we're going to make you live in the shed or something. And the boys are just like, yeah, OK. I tell mine they'll go to boarding school. They're terrified of boarding school. We don't know anyone that goes to boarding school. But that is our one thing. If we say it to them, they're like, oh, OK. Or it used to, when they were younger, it was the police. We used to pretend to be on the phone to the police.
God, yeah.
You know. But I wouldn't, I just feel like you can't really throw anyone out. Like, it's hard to make money now. It's so expensive to be anywhere. People probably can't afford to take them in. Like, yeah, I just don't think...
I remember once my mum coming thundering. My mum was one of those thunderers. You know, she was one of those where she'd chase you upstairs with the newspaper. I said, don't go to the... Yeah. And I don't know, I'd been up to something or other, and she came thundering up the stairs, and it was like, oh, it was... She opened the door and she went, I have officially given up on you. Closed the door and went down the stairs, and my first thought was, good. And then afterwards I was like, I don't think I like that.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of enough. You know, I think sometimes it's really good to just go... Like, there's been a couple of times in my house, honestly, where everyone has been terrified, where I've just lost it so bad. Smashed the door, closed it, smashed it, closed, smashed it, I can't take it anymore. Thrown stuff around. And then everyone just goes for a minute like that. Because I think we all get like that, don't we?
Yeah.
We're so... And you get to the end of your tether, but then it does have a sort of calm afterwards.
I think I just have a look. I used to have a look with my kids. I still do. You know, where you just kind of
imagine.
Did you ever lose it though? I can't take it anymore.
I have lost it a couple of times, but then they're like,
really
oh
scared.
my God, she's really lost it. But I remember my mum, because it was just me and my mum growing up, and we were coming home somewhere in our little, I don't know, it was like an old Austin A40 or something, and we were having a whatever. I'd said something that she didn't like, whatever, and she went, right, and she stopped the car and she went, get out.
How old were you?
I mean, this would have been like, I was probably 8, so this would have been like 1970.
That's like Richard Branson.
And she went, get out.
I did that to me.
So I went, oh. So I got out on the side of the road and she drove off over the brow of the hill. And I remember vividly, and this does prove maybe I was a little bit of a so-and-so, I thought, right, and it was by the edge of the woods. So I went
So
into
Jane.
the woods and stood behind a tree.
So Jane Moore.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because I thought she's going to come back and then
she'll be worried.
Sure enough, she went over the brow of the hill. She was just trying to scare me. She came back over the hill. Of course, I ended up scaring her because she couldn't see me. So she thought I'd
We
been
are who we are,
abducted.
right from 8 years old. That's what Jane would do now.
And then anyway, I eventually came out for it. She was going, Jane, Jane! Her voice was getting more and more hysterical. I came out from behind the tree, and of course, then I was in even bigger trouble.
Did you scared her?
Yeah, she was
I know,
fuming.
but 8-year-old Jane's got
Yeah,
that'll
okay.
teach
Yeah.
you.
Just go into the
That'll
woods. This will be
teach you.
fine.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll go into the woods.
I know.